Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Friday. And first and foremost, as always, just want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know, and I'm going to bring it up every show, the Lakers are not in the playoffs and LeBron James is not in the playoffs. But as we all know, the show must go on, and the NBA playoffs have been exciting thus far. I must say, I have really enjoyed them as I always do this time of year. And on yesterday, we had such a treat of a game. And as I told y'all yesterday, that I would be traveling, and I had a very long road trip ahead of me because of some family business that needs to be tended to. And like I said, keep me all in your prayers and blessings and vibrations and all that. Just look out for your boy in that regard. But I'm a long way from home right now. But with all that being said, the Memphis Grizzlies, I didn't get to watch the game, but I did get to listen to it on the radio for the most part. And it's a little bit different when you're listening versus being able to watch, because when you're driving, you can't watch or you mess around and have an accident, even though y'all see I can drive and do this show every day, so I'm pretty good at multitasking. But with all that being said, the Grizzlies, I ain't gonna lie, I thought the first quarter I was damn near ready to turn it off, and then I said, you know what? Open up my FanDuel. Open up my FanDuel, because Memphis Grizzlies done went down by 25 points, and there's no way that they're going to lose by that much. And damn it, I feel like they actually can still come back and win the game, because that's how dynamic they are. And if you would have listened to me on yesterday's show, I said that the Memphis Grizzlies, I think, are my pick to come out of the West, even though Golden State is playing quite lovely too. But I just think Memphis has that grit and grind type defense capabilities to do what they got to do. And they the number one fast break team in the league, the number one scoring team in the league. And of course, to me, the deepest team in the league. And one thing I got to give a shout out right now to Taylor Jenkins. Let's give a shout out to Taylor Jenkins, because unlike Frank the Stank Dumb Vogel, he is able to make adjustments. Now, as we all know, Steven Adams, the center for the Memphis Grizzlies, which they traded my guy to the Pelicans last year, you know what I'm talking about, Valanciunas, to the Pelicans last year, and I thought it was a mistake, because Valanciunas, he was just as grimy as Steven Adams in the paint. To me, he was just as grimy as Stevie Adams in the paint, but he could actually spread the floor. Now, you see in this series the way the Minnesota offense, because I think they're number 2 in scoring offense, if I'm not mistaken, the way they've been able to stretch the floor as well. And by them stretching the floor, that is pretty much taking Steven Adams out of the game, because he cannot defend in space. And that's more what the NBA game is about a lot today. And that's why I keep trying to tell people when they talk about 90s defenses and this and that, like, the defense you have to play today in today's era is much more complex. And as far as the rotation, the switching, being able to cover floor spaces, because that ball is going to swing around that arc. People are going to get open. Like I said, when you got to defend the pick and roll, people are going to toss that ball out to the weak side and get easy looks from corner threes. And you have very talented, skilled players at every position around the arc capable of hitting threes on most NBA teams now. And that wasn't always the case back in those days. And just because you can muck up the game, and people say, well, you mucking it up against Kevin Durant, that's not really mucking it up. They being physical with him. You think Boston wasn't being physical with LeBron James in 2018? Come on now. They was being just as physical. When the playoffs come, things are a little bit more physical. And that's when you got to see where the heart is. And that's what I'm talking about, the Memphis Grizzlies. Even when they got down on yesterday, they proved that they still had heart. They still had heart. And John Morant being the leader of that team, and he talked a lot of stuff on Twitter, which, hey, I got to admit, I like that. You understand what I'm saying? I do like that. So I just feel like Memphis has what it takes. I mean, when you talk about such a deep bench, you got Melton, you got Zaire Williams, Kyle Anderson, Jared Jackson Jr. You got so many people that's capable of playing good defense, like Jared Jackson Jr., Dylan Brooks, who is a great lockdown defender, people that spread the floor. Desmond Bain last night, I think, hit like 7 threes. So much shouts out to Memphis for that. Like I said, that's still my pick. And now, I must say, Dallas did surprise me. I would have picked that Utah would have won, would have been ahead in this series, and I thought them going back home that they would actually be able to win that game. And I didn't get to my destination till about 1 or 2 in the morning last night. I didn't really get a chance to watch that either, so I apologize for not giving much add value to the show as of today. But with that being said, I think Dallas is going to ultimately hang on to win that series in time, maybe for Luka Doncic to come back. Now Phoenix, I don't know. So much, because even though they're a hell of a team, we see that they play well without Chris Paul, which everybody said is that team MVP. How well can they play without Devin Booker? And see who is the true MVP of that team is the question, because Devin Booker brings a lot of athleticism to the team, a lot of floor spacing to the team, and of course just a lot of leadership, and of course heart and enthusiasm, because you got to have that person. And I mean, a hamstring is something that you really can't heal too much from unless you just get rest from it. Now, if he used the secret ingredient and rubbed some black seed oil on it, like I try to tell him, then he would come back a lot quicker. But, you know, he didn't respond to the DM. I'm just trying to help you out, Book. Check your DM, man, on the ground, bro. But anyway, like I said, you know, I'm just always sending positive vibrations. I don't have a dog in this race, because you all know, you know, LeBron James and the Lakers are sitting at home. But, of course, I love the Memphis Grizzlies and the Beale Street Blue. I always have, since the days of the early days, even before Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol and Mike Conley. I mean, the early days, you know, I ain't going to go back to Sharif Abdul-Rahim when Vancouver first came down to the mighty M. But I will tell you this, since the days of Pau Gasol, when they first went to the playoffs and got swept by the Spurs. And I used to tear so much up on 2K back in the day with Pau Gasol, with Memphis. And they'd be like, man, you picking the sorriest team in the league, and I just go out and smoke them. Just like I do now. If anybody ever want to battle me on 2K, I might start live streaming games. If y'all want me to do that on the channel, put it in the comments and let me know. Yeah, I'm cold. I cannot be defeated. Nah, I'm just playing. But, man, at the end of the day, y'all, I really do not know where I'm going. I'm riding, because that's where my mind take me, especially through these turbulent times. So I want everybody to continue sending positive blessings and vibrations, like I said. And, of course, hopefully we'll get a chance to watch some more hoops, that way I can come back and we can all have these discussions. But, like I said, I was listening to the game on the radio, and it wasn't the same as watching it. But the way Memphis came back and fought back into that game, I think is amazing. And when you go through challenges like that, especially in the playoffs, and you get tested, especially being a higher seed going against a lower seed, then that's going to be something that you can turn to in the next round, that you've been down before. And like I said, Taylor Jenks, the way he coaching that team up, I mean, is nothing short of amazing. You know, Ja Morant was out for all those games, and they did not miss a beat. That is a testament of a good system in place. The players know to continue to move, to continue to cut, to continue to pass the ball and be unselfish is what it's all about, instead of having teams that, you know, just get stagnant a lot of times, and people want to blame that on LeBron. That's not LeBron, you know, holding the ball. He would love to pass the ball and get it moving and finding people who could actually score. And Westbrook didn't average a triple-double. You need 10 assists to do that. But if you can't find shooters who are capable of knocking down the shots and handling their business, then what can you handle? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not going to harp on all that, but one thing I just want to continue to say is, you know, NBA playoffs is fantastic. Hope everybody keep tuning in. We got more games to talk about, more games to discuss. And I got some good topics that I want to touch on regarding the vacancy for the Lakers head coach position, things that's going to be going on during the off season, and also, you know, Middleton has been hurt as far as Milwaukee. Is that going to hurt their chances? Will they be able to get past the Chicago Bulls? That is something that's yet to be seen. So this is all going to be very interesting, the way it plays itself out over the next week or so. So I just want everybody to stay right here with me, stay tuned in with me, and we could just talk about it and discuss, and everybody can share their best basketball knowledge. And I do respect the opinion of everybody. Like I always said, I'm not the end all be all of anything, but one thing I am is not a smooth brain individual or a hater. And when your argument or your debate about another player or another man starts consisting of just hating on somebody and not backing it up with facts, then that just means you a hater or you a smooth brain individual. And you know what we do to haters on this channel. We send much love to you. With that being said, man, I just want to say right on to the real, and much love to y'all haters. I'm out.